Hello, this is Eileen, the Environmental Educator. It's December 5th, 2021, and there was something interesting in the news today. This is from Natural News, naturalnewsuphere.com. A Canadian doctor diagnoses patient with climate change. Oh, wow, wow, that doesn't sound like that's a good disease to have, but this doctor alleged that climate change is the underlying cause of the patient's symptoms. And the only way to treat these symptoms is to cool the planet. Now, for the rest of this article, you can look through it, pause it, look through it if you want. I looked through it. There is nothing in here that that states how he came up with this determination that the underlying cause of the symptoms was climate change. It doesn't say. So that's interesting. Now, who else talked about that this was going to be happening? This guy here, Mark Morano, I think. Morano. He's from Climate Depot in InfoWars. Alex Jones has him on because they're both global warming's not real, man. Oh my God, it's like we should just trash the planet. It doesn't matter. We don't have to have any respect for this planet whatsoever. So Alex Jones won't talk responsible environment, even though he says he's about sustainability. He won't talk about it. He won't expose all of the environmental voices that are frauds. He's happy to ridicule them and to, berate them and insult them and just mock them for, talking about climate change, but he won't expose them, which, maybe would shut them up. But, he has this guy Mark out here, and this was September 25th, 2021, and this is what Mark has to say.
Here's some of the more outrageous things happening. A group of academics in Australia have now announced that it's time to add climate change as a cause of death to death certificates. Bill Gates is all in on this. Bill Gates has said that the death toll from climate change will exceed anything from any virus that we could come up with. Keep in mind, since 1920, we've had a 99% drop in climate-related deaths. So there's no truth to that, number one. But number two, we have Obama's Department of Transportation say that climate change is causing an increase in fatal car accidents. Al Gore says every organ of the body is affected. The American Cancer Society says cancer is up due to climate change. So if you die from organ failure, a fatal car crash, or cancer, you're going to credibly have climate change listed as a cause of death. It's not far-fetched to think of CNN or MSNBC putting up daily climate change death tolls. This is the way they're going to scare the public. They've already scared the kids. We know that.
So, yeah. Yeah, and you know what? Now down here at the end of this article here, billionaire eugenicist Bill Gates, by the way, also claims that people are dying from climate change and that the death toll is much, much, much greater than what we have with this pandemic. Oh, oh, well, Bill knows because Bill knows everything except, um, Bill knows that about as much as that guy Mark who was just talking. I'm sorry, didn't he say that we know that climate deaths have gone down since I think 1990? How do we know that? I never knew that we kept track of climate deaths unless Mark's talking about deaths from, natural disasters that take lives. But Mark says that that's not from climate change because global warming isn't real. So, I don't know where Mark's coming up with that figure, um, but where are these guys coming up with their stuff too? They're just yapping. They want to get in the game, I guess. And why don't you go, find the cure for cancer? How many decades have you been at that? Oh, about as long as, Americans, the world has been trying to find solutions to climate change, and you're probably holding up solutions to cancer and muscular dystrophy and MS and every other health condition that's gone on for decades out there, just like the environmental world's holding up the environmental solutions the world needs. I don't know. I wouldn't doubt it. Because really, all of you great minds in all these decades, you haven't been able to come up with a cure? Well, I'll tell you what part of the problem is. Part of the problem is nothing about what any of these organizations talk about. Now I looked up, I searched for now the Planetary Health Alliance, that's a different one, but Doctors for Planetary Health. Let me see, that's these guys here. Trust me, there's nothing in here that has solutions. There's just, you know, we're a grassroots group of activists, physicians, right? They they have nothing. They just want to scream. And their vision to live in a world with mutual respect with our natural world and each other, to have an ecocentric understanding of the interconnections between human and ecological health. We kind of do express gratitude and build loving reciprocity with the natural world and one another for future generations. Wow, that's just like a big, huge, warm, fuzzy blanket that you want to wrap yourself up in. But there's no substance there. That's a lot of fluff, And what's their action? Oh, look at this. Oh, they're Greta. They're out there with signs. Yeah. Oh, they're carrying a world here. Oh, that's good. Planetary health is healthy people, and climate change equals health plus emergency. Oh, yeah. Oh my God, something about fossil fuels, for the sake of our health. No more fossil fuels. Oh, okay. Well, why don't you get on it, guys? Here they are. This is them. This is their action. It is them with signs being Greta. Okay, Greta's out there with signs getting youth to join her while the youth don't know, but Greta, at least Greta's handlers know, that they're withholding from the world the solutions that Greta is allegedly looking for. So, I gave these guys the solutions the world needs too. Now I went to um, the planetaryhealthalliance.org website too. So yeah, I went to these guys and I just and there's yeah, well, pretty picture, but substance, anything of value? No, I haven't listened to these, but I can tell you blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, we need to. Oh my God, we're activists. There's nothing of value. I don't even have to watch it to know, okay? That's just how absolutely, let me see. How can you get involved? Oh, you can become a member. You can join their online community. You can get their newsletter telling you what activists they are. And, you can write for the blog. So you too can say, oh my God, yes, we need solutions. We need solutions, right? I guarantee that if I went through this whole website, there's nothing of value in here. But there is this email address to contact. PHA for, I guess, Planetary Health Alliance, and at Harvard. So I, that's right, I sent them an email tonight because the interesting thing about this is that at the time I just maybe kind of thought this was the same one, so I told them the solutions that are needed, and right here the solutions that are needed. That the problem is all environmental voices have prevented the solution since '93. And give them some videos to watch, give them the website, and hey, if you are serious about solving this global situation, then get world leaders, including Trudeau and Harvard, to stop preventing the solutions the world needs. Oh, why did I say that about Harvard? Because no, this is harvard.edu. Now, in about I don't know, 2001, 2002, way before screenshots. Um, I don't think they're not in my wall of shame. They need to be. I have to add a lot of people to the wall of shame. But in about 2001, 2002, somewhere I saw online, probably Environmental News Network. I don't even know really. But it said, Harvard said we need an environmental 911 call. So, I started sending Harvard environmental emails like here's a solution the world needs. And when they couldn't be bothered, I took Harvard to court. I didn't stand a chance, But you can't get any replies out of these people, so it's the only way you can do it. Just like when I'm going to have to take Project Veritas to court soon too, because what is it they want to do? Oh, that's right, expose that all environmental voices are preventing solutions frauds for 2.5 years now, regardless of their propaganda. We expose everybody. I wouldn't say anything I wouldn't stand behind. Right, James O'Keefe, shut up. Anyways, so I took Harvard to court, and I said, hey, how about you dial the call? And it got dismissed, of course, and I knew it would. But I tried. I did. I spent $500, I think, to get a statement out of Harvard, and it said that they don't know who made the statement. And you know what? I didn't remember either because I didn't have a screenshot of it. But you would think that someone in Harvard would have said, oh, yeah, yeah, I did. As a matter of fact, there's a number of people at Harvard that could have stood up and said, yeah, yeah, I made that statement because we do. So what's up? But we don't know who made that statement. And even if we did make the statement, their statement said, something very close to making the statement in no way manifests a willingness by Harvard to, and then it's summed up with, essentially dial the call. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And then I bothered Harvard students, especially like at the Crimson, their newspaper, and I'd have to do a video on this. And they just ignored it like everybody does. What solutions? What? And I'm like, expose your staff. Use your voice, get the solutions the world needs to the world. And at one point, um, they did email me back and said something like, "You just keep saying the same thing over and over again." I'm like, "Well, I keep having to ask you to, tell the world that your staff, no, at least your college, that your staff is holding up the solutions the world needs and that you guys can use your voice for it." So you can only say that so many ways, but how about stepping up? And of course they wouldn't. Nobody will. Okay. So, that's just the complete, like, no foundation that this is all based on. But Harvard's in there. Some guy from Harvard, oh my God, we need solutions. And he has an organization. And guess what? Guess what? Those people here. And then what I did was, because I emailed it to the wrong one, and I was like, wait a sec, that wasn't the one that I was actually looking up at first. And so then I forwarded it to Doctors for Planetary Health, which is these guys here. No, which is these guys here and somewhere, Doctors for Planetary Health at gmail.com. And that's who I forwarded this to. So, they both got the solutions the world needs. And I don't expect that you're going to be hearing any of them stepping up to the plate anytime soon because no one else does. Nobody does. They're all just, it's so easy to get on a bandwagon that's shallow. It takes absolutely no substance whatsoever. And it doesn't even take a whole lot of substance to actually get behind and be a part of the solution. It's just these people, they're not going to. They just want to be out there, getting press and, oh my God, we came up with a diagnosis, and there is that this was caused by climate change. The underlying cause of the patient's symptoms is climate change. Nothing here says how that was come up with. So, but they just want to get in on the bandwagon, and that's, the New World Order and its tentacles go deep. And these people are part of their soldiers. They're marching forward. Maybe George Soros paid for them to go to school. I don't know. Maybe Bill Gates paid for them to go to school. Just like, I just heard a Russell Brand thing about Bill Gates paying for journalists to go to schools in schools that I think he funds and to teach journalism, and then they go out and they get good paying jobs in places that Bill Gates has stake in or donates to, or it's a Russell Brand did a video about it. So I don't know, why these people are just thinking that they have nothing to stand behind it with. They have nothing that they said to back up how they came up with that determination. But here we are, we are at the point where Mark Morano said that we were going to be, that we are going to be, and this isn't the only part that they have in store for you, that climate change is going to be the cause of everything. It's also going to prevent you from doing a lot of things, like buying things you were accustomed to, driving like you were accustomed, flying, like just anything, anything. So, I just thought I'd bring this to you and let you know that, these people, like everybody else that I bother with solutions, who's out there screaming for them, is going to be absolutely as uninterested. I will send these people, PHA at harvard.edu and doctors for planetary health at gmail.com, an email after I load this video up. And, like everybody else, including Project Veritas, including Al Gore, including Bill McKibben, including Congress, including the United Nations, and Greta, everybody, Robert Redford, Sunday, everybody who's out there screaming for solutions will not reply back to the one person that actually comes to them with solutions. So stay tuned, people. Tomorrow night's probably going to be about this lady from InfoWars. She did an interview with Bobby Kennedy. Yeah, oh my God, because you're such a hero, Bobby. So we're going to talk about that because, I put out a video a couple nights ago about how Bobby isn't a hero. So stay tuned. More videos to come, more truth. This is the only place you're going to get it. Like it, share it, tell people. If any of you, know people that care about the environment, they're not going to care. They're just not. They're not going to care till someone like Alex Jones does his job, till someone like Project Veritas does his job. But even at that, like Project Veritas isn't going to get any echo chamber because their usual echo chamber are people that have been censoring this truth for a decade, up to a decade. you know. So, but Project Veritas, they can make a splash on their own without a huge echo chamber, and you would think someone would care, but not until Project Veritas's echo chamber makes them and actually starts, like Alex Jones actually starts talking about the sustainability that we need, that the environmental educator and agenda is. It can't be argued against, you know, and illiteracy and our disposable society, hemp, gain individual cooperation. There's nothing more sustainable than all of that. But will Alex Jones talk about it? No. But he'll bring on this guy because global warming's not real, man. Yeah, and he'll bring on Mike Adams, right? Mike Adams, he's the guy from Natural News. Mike Adams, global warming is not real, man. I mean, the climate change is ridiculous. I mean, I like Mike. He makes some sense, but not when it comes to having any respect for the one planet that we know of that supports life. His Breitbart, his Natural News, his censored news won't print truth that all environmental voices are frauds and that there's solutions. They won't print it either. So yeah, like and share, and stay tuned. More to come. Have a good night, people.